I was on internet browsing my stuff when I saw an advert about the Illuminate Society. I opened that page. This society is a process of selling your soul to the devil such that everything that you do would be under the influence of the devil, not God. They offer money and your dream life. There is a form on that page. I filled the form and sent it on email. I started communicating with the society through emails. They then asked me to send 500 to buy beginning material. After sending the money, they sent me a confirmation email and said they would get back to me about what was next. The following week, I received another email confirming that the invitations items were brought and they promised to visit me as soon as possible. That day, I replied to the email. I received a call from someone who was based here in Zimbabwe but in Harare. The person was an agent of the society here in Zimbabwe. He said that we were to meet here in Gweru on the following Sunday at 9. On that Sunday morning, my mom asked me to prepare for church. We started having an argument because I knew I had plans. She gave up and left me to do as I wanted. When my mom went out for church, I went out for the invitation. I arrived at the meeting point by 8:30 and waited. Seated at the chairs in the reception, 5 men entered wearing black suits and red ties, but I didn't realize then that they were the people I was waiting for. After about 10 minutes, a lady said I was needed in room 35 in the second floor. When I got to the staircase, my sixth sense sensed danger. I felt weak and turned back and went to church where I had earlier refused to go. I quit at the last process, but I did not know. I am a man aged 25, serving a jail sentence for killing my own mom after trying to join this Illuminate society. I heard about your programs by new inmates. I wrote this letter seeking for advice from you and your followers. I was in college on attachment. One day, the incident happened. I went to the shops at around 3 p.m. My purpose at the shops was to go and play snooker. There was no electricity at home, so I wanted to find something entertaining. I went there, leaving my mom at home. I wanted to kill time, waiting for electricity to return. Went to the shops. The power got back while I was at the shops. By then, I had brought 2 pints of Black Label. I went back home to prepare for the plans I had. When I got home, I greeted my mother. I reminded her of my plans to go out. She said it was fine. After I had dressed up, I told her that I was leaving, at which point she wanted to send me to the shops to buy her some beer. She insisted that I go and buy her some beer before leaving because I was known to go for up a week without coming back. In some instances, I used to be with boys. In some instances, I used to be with girlfriends. I initially refused to go to buy her the beer. I had suggested to drive her to the shops. Then she would come back on foot. We had a little argument because she was insisting that I should go. I eventually gave in and did what she had insisted. I went and brought the beer and opened one for her. I went to my room and took my bag, which I had few items of clothes since I was heading to Bulawayo for almost a week. Was supposed to go there with my friends because there were drag races happening there. All I last remember is we met at the dorm. As I was leaving, I still can't quite understand how I grabbed the knife and stabbed her 5 times on her left breast. Only remembering waking up by her side holding a knife. My knees and hands were stained with blood, but she was now dead. Having realized what had happened, I panicked. I could not even inform anyone what had happened. Washed the knife and placed it on top of a pelmet. I locked all the doors and left with her car. Then locked the gate. Neighbors were confused by how I sped off. They did not know that I had just done something bad like that. I left the home. My first stop was when I was picking my girlfriend. I drove her to town just so she can carry out her errands. Then afterwards, I decided to go back home because I didn't have enough money. But I knew that my mother was supposed to receive money from her friends on this exact day. They had a savings club. I went back home, parked the car, got inside and changed my clothes. I then saw my mother's friend's maid. I decided to drive to her so that I could block her from seeing what had happened. I don't wanted people to know what had happened. Told her that mom had sent me to collect her money on behalf of her. I lied to her that my mother had gone to church because they were aware of the function that was happening at church. I tried to convince her that I had been sent by mother. She initially refused to give me the money, and I told her that I was just gonna tell my mother that she had refused the money, fearing that my mother would call her boss to ask why she had refused the money. She called me to come back and gave me $150. I got into town. I was communicating with my friends. We met up and talked. We agreed to go clubbing and leaving at midnight. I did not know that my girlfriend had plans to go to Harare. The following morning, she only revealed her plans to us when we were in the club. We decided to cancel our plans just so we could accompany her to Harare. All this while, I was driving without a license. We got to the bar, which was in our apartment. There was a driveway wide enough for 2 cars. I swiped the other car, probably because I was drunk and I did not stop. Made a U-turn and left. The owner of the car that I had swiped was a son to one of my mother's friends. He let me go because he planned to have his mother tell mine. I drove off with my girlfriend because my friend had his car. We went to my girlfriend's place. My friend called me telling me how I sped off. He told me that I was on the run and told me to wait for him so that he could tell me about the situation. I told him that I would be at my girlfriend's place. He told me to meet at near Oshotenov. I drove from my girlfriend's place and left her behind. I was now alone in the car. Arrived at near Oshoten. My friend had brought other 2 guys named Gabu and Monashe. These 2 guys were also my friends. We were in the same college. They let me know that I had broken the window of other car. They told me that they negotiated with the owner of the car. My friends were not even suspicious because I'm very good at masking my distress. It's hard to figure out if I'm distressed or not, but people in the neighborhood were seeing me driving around in my mother's car. It rose a lot of questions since it was unusual, but they didn't know anything at the time. The owner of the car I swapped went and reported the issue to his mother. They drove to my house. They knocked the gate and hooted to no response, but all the lights were on. My mother being a sociable person, people were wondering where she were. She was usually vanished, and people were wondering where she was. She was not even reachable on her phone. In fact, I had taken her phone. I ended up switching it off because people were keeping on calling. Also, I didn't want my girl to become suspicious. So when that guy and his mother got no response from my mother, they decided to call her best friend. They told her, the best friend, what I had done and how there no response at my house. They asked her if she knew where my mother was. She told them that she was not aware of my mother's whereabouts. She told them that it was highly unlikely that she would go to church without telling her, since they would always go to church together. They also called my elder brother's friend, asked him where I was, but he told them he didn't know where I was. He also told them that he had last spoken to my mother in the afternoon. He told them that he didn't have any idea of what was going on. They told him of how I was suspiciously driving around in my mother's car. My brother's friend got troubled. He resolved to go and check the next morning. The guilt later started on me, and I decided to go and end myself into the church because I knew that there were people at the church. I parked inside the church's yard. Some women witnessed my arrival at the church, but they were confused by the fact that I was driving a car in her absence. I got out of the car and headed to the dean's office, but I made a U-turn at the office door. But I cowardly returned at the door and went back into the car. At around 3, my friend suggested that we go to my house to sleep. I lied to him that it was impossible since there were visitors coming, so he figured that going to my house was not a good idea. He had the freedom to bring his friends to his home. My friend was spoiled to do and get whatever he wanted. We thought of booking a room, but we didn't have enough money. We slept in a car. I called my girlfriend at around 6. I told her that we were coming to pick her. We drove and fetched her. Because I was acting a little different than usual, she was now becoming suspicious, but she didn't have the guts to ask me. We got into town and filled the car and got on our way. We traveled to Harare, where I was caught. In the neighborhood, people were being troubled on what was happening. They ended up by breaking the gate in my mom's bedroom window and discovered that there was none inside. Informed my sibling that mom was missing. The next day, they broke the window in the company of the police. That's when they discovered my mom's body partially decaying. To cut it short, I was caught stuck here in Harare. Mom was buried while I was now at the hands of the police. In court, at the sentence, there were arguments. There was an argument between the judge, the assessors, and the prosecutor that I was supposed to be sentenced to life in prison. But the lawyer argued that I was still a child. They then agreed to compromise and ended up getting sentenced to 20 years in prison. Now I'm in prison. My oldest brother is visiting me. The problem is that the other 2 siblings didn't want to have anything to do with me. They are not able to forgive me. Now I tried all. What should I do? I know I offended them. Please help me with ideas. Yellow people, please keep me anonymous. So back in 2019, some guy affected me with genital warts. Mind you, we were trying to break my virginity. We didn't even go through. I struggled for months with warts on my vagina till I got this other thing called Aodara. Okay, cool. The genital warts were completely cleared. Then last year, I was pregnant. In June, while I was 7 months pregnant, the warts came back for a few weeks. I went to the clinic and they said I should wait till I'm not pregnant to remove them. Whenever a procedure they may take would harm the baby. Okay, they got cleared up until now. They are coming back. I went to the clinic, then they did a pap smear and said the results will come back next month. They said maybe I have cervical cancer. Guys, please help me. Is there anyone who once had them? I'm now afraid to have sex with my husband because I feel like I'll infect him. Please help me. Hello guys, I am dating this girl, guys. We started dating this year, January, and she was a virgin. I broke her virginity, and as for that, I made it clear that I won't cheat on her. But my problem, she never spent a night in my crib. I don't mind that cause her parents are strict. But what gets on my nerves is this girl never posted me, not even in a single stories. To get at least that silly tag post, I have proven here that she is worth it. This person had a frame in my door and key holder, but for her to just risk one day for sleepover, alafu. I have to understand as I am, but manje, my instincts are telling me that ngiyajolewa, or I am just a guy afuna uku experiencing ngayo. Cause whenever I try to say what bothers me, I end up being a problem. and she won't talk to me for days. Guys, I love this girl, but now I found myself being attracted to other girls, and this person act, oh glory, in my presence. She don't drink, but yes, pictures, apples, and she don't smoke, yet she's into happy. Maybe it's one of those days I have drama, cause that's what she always tell me, ukubamina, I have drama or complain too much. Please advise me, guys, cause after this relationship, I'm planning to be a womanizer, cause girls have ruined the love and I head for them. Hey, Mijolo, guys, I'm 26 and she is 19 years old. Thank you so much, my brother and other people who confessed today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I don't know how to thank you. You have been supporting us since day one. Viewers, listeners, if you're still tuning in, this is African Confessions HD on Extra Honor Africa with your host, Solution Uncle. If you're still new, in this show we publish lifetime confessions. Usually, we publish anonymously for their own safety reasons. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to our channel. It won't be a channel without you. My sister, Gloria Kabadeo, how are you? Thank you so much for the support. Queen Sheba, and a lot of you guys. Mimi and others. Hope you are enjoying your Sunday. And I don't have much to say, to talk about this Sunday. I just want to urge you to pray, guys. Today is 17th of December. It's how many days to Christmas? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Okay, sorry. 9 days left. Christmas Day is around the corner. So, as we get into the period, a lot of people lost their lives because we'll be relaxing, saying, we are at holiday. Forgetting our daily routine. We need to pray, guys. When we wake up, we need to pray. Midday, we need to pray. Before sleeping, we need to pray. It doesn't matter we are at holiday. We need to pray. We need to pray always, anywhere, whenever, wherever you are. We need to pray in whatever situation. Before going to the next stage of your life, before traveling, before meeting those relatives, you don't know what they are planning for you right now. The devil is waiting for us to relax. So let's be very careful. Let's be very careful. Otherwise, we might end up crying. So we don't want something like that to happen. Let's be okay with what we have. Let's appreciate what God gave us. And ladies and gentlemen, there's something I didn't told you, but I feel I need to tell you. This is my birth week. I was born in December of 1999. Solution Uncle for you. I forgot to tell you, it was my birthday on... What's the date? Sunday. On Friday, it was my birthday, guys. I would like to thank God for everything He is doing to me. I'm still alive, even though receiving all those kinds of threats left, right, and center. I'm okay. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Until we meet on Monday. It's obvious on Monday will be a 2 upload. I'm going to upload 2 videos on Monday. So stay around. I'll be back. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Sunday. Peace.